Republican Party and the Clarke County Republican Women meet and greet of our Republican candidates. Boy, that's a lot of R's there. I'm Judy Roberts, and I'm co-chair of the Clarke County Republican Party and vice president of the Clarke County Republican Women. We are so excited that we have such a great group of Republican candidates. You've made history for Clarke County, being the largest group ever of Republican candidates in Clarke County. I'd like to thank Chandler Metz, our Republican woman president, and our fellow Republican women Becky Watkins, Susan Bosarge, Sherry Clarke, and Carol Loper for their help putting this event together.
There's something I want to say right off before we start. And Scotty Allen is here, and he is the cinematographer that you'll see doing the work and the filming. And can you hear me? I'm sorry. Scotty has been so good to our Republican groups. He comes and he films the candidates, and I'll tell you right now, you can use that film. He'll talk to you about how he shoots everything we do. He gets it out there for the public with hot topics. I want to give him a big shout out because this guy, I come from a newspaper family. And the Enterprise Record News for decades is how you got the news in Clarke County, along with the sister paper, which was Tribune. But we got now in social media the hottest thing there is. So Scotty, thank you so much for being here. As Republicans, we always open with prayer and the pledge. So it is at this time that I would like to mention someone to you. His rank. He's a retired captain. He was a captain and a pilot in the Air Force. He was a captain of a B-52 bomber aircraft. He was a commander. He was a pilot after that with the Mississippi Air National Guard, and for 41 years, a Delta pilot, serving as his experience with aviation. It is a great pleasure that I ask Captain Steve Watkins to please come forward and to lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance to our flag. Captain?
It's a pleasure to be able to lead you in the Pledge of Allegiance, so please stand. Salute. Pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated.
We'll call upon John Roberts. Please come up.
Thank you, Ken. Let's all bow our head in prayer, please. Dear God, we come before you this evening with thankful and grateful hearts that we have the great privilege and honor to live in a country that allows us to participate in a gathering such as this, to hear from those who offer themselves as candidates for public office and service. We thank you for them. I pray, Lord, that you will bless this gathering, these candidates, and all who are here to listen and learn about them. May we have open hearts and minds so that we might make wise decisions when we vote. I humbly pray, Lord, that you will continue to bless us and extend your loving mercy upon us. In the holy name of Jesus, I ask these things. Amen. Amen.
First of all, I just want to thank you for the opportunity to be able to serve as your mayor. And I really take that seriously, being a public servant. And I know everyone here that's running for office knows that that's our highest calling is to be a public servant. And I am encouraged to see this many people turn out tonight. I mean, we've got a full house here. And that's people that are interested in what goes on in their community, in their county. And these are very important jobs that people are seeking to fill. And you being a part of it is extremely important. I tell you one thing I have learned in my short time as being mayor, and having never been in politics before, and is this, that it makes a difference when you show up to board meetings, when you show up to events, when you let your opinion be known. it makes a big difference. So I just want to thank you for being here, for coming to this event, and encourage you to stay involved. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. How are you all today? I appreciate the opportunity to be here and to speak with you this afternoon. Looking around, I see several familiar faces, but for the ones of you who may not know me, my name is Anthony Chancellor, and I am seeking a Republican nomination for sheriff in Clarke County. My wife, Mallory, and I, we have 5 young men that we're raising here in Clarke County. She wasn't able to make it tonight. She's been working out of town this week, so she'll be late coming in. Tell you a little bit about myself. I've been serving the community since I was 18. I've had the ability, and I've been fortunate to serve several agencies on the local and the state level. And throughout my career, I've built long-lasting relationships on the state level and other levels of government that I feel like will benefit us here. For instance, this past legislative session, I was able to have a conversation with the Lieutenant Governor's office and about some potential extra monies to go toward the Sheriff's office for this year. They had already dedicated money to Pat Harrison and also for the Howard companies here in town, but they were able to manage to secure $100 grand to go to the Sheriff's office to buy cars and equipment to put these vehicles on patrol. I hope to get to do that next year. And be honest with you, if I don't get elected sheriff, I'll still do it anyway. I'll still do my part to try to help out. I always have Clarke County's best interest in mind. And going back to relationships, I'm a firm believer that our relationships with one another is what helps provide good public safety for our citizens. That's what government's original purpose was for, was public safety. I want to have a good working relationship with our municipalities within the county and our state agencies. If we can't work together, then the only people we are hurting are the citizens that we were called to serve in the first place. Not only that, but I want to maintain and build a good relationship with our citizens of this county. I want to be a sheriff that our people can trust on their worst day, because that's what they deserve. I am a firm believer that our livelihood depends on the strength and the integrity of our law enforcement. In closing, I pledge to give you the very best that I have to offer as a public servant. And one other thing, I pledge to you today, April the 27th, that I will publicly endorse the Republican candidate, whoever gets it. Standing here, mark my words. Whoever gets it, Carrie or Hank, I stand behind you 100% and will do it publicly. Thank you for your time, and I appreciate your vote August the 8th.
If any of you don't know me, my name is Hank Gandy. I think there's 3 of us that carry the same name. I got a son and a grandson. First of all, I'd like to recognize the dignitaries that are already here. Mr. Mayor, one veteran to another, thank you for your service. Appreciate you. And all the other elected officials, Mr. Joe Speed, Sally, Judge Bonner. Did I miss anybody? Anyway, thank you for your time, your dedication. Y'all already been through this. I've never been through this. I'm not a politician. It's my first time jumping over into this. So I want to appreciate you ladies from the Republican Party for having this, putting this on. I really appreciate it. Give me a chance to see some of you. And give me a chance to know you a little better. Jerry, how you doing? First of all, I'm not a native Mississippian. I was born and raised over in Choctaw County. Just happened to be the young lady from Clarke County. She pulled me across the line, and thank God we've been together for 51 years. We raised. She keeps me straight, keeps a tight rein on me. I appreciate you. But we've raised 4 kids. Sometimes I start thinking about the grandkids and the great-grandkids, and I can't keep up with them. Got a house full right now. Anyway, I'm a military veteran like the mayor. I served 7 years in the Navy. Decided that wasn't what I wanted to do, so when got time for me to come out, I came out. I was looking up, I went to work civil service at the Navy base. I continued my career dedicated to service. And I got a chance to go to the post office from there, and I worked at the post office in Richmond for 23 years. So I had 35 years total service, counting the military, and civil service, and postal service. And before I even retired from the post office, Sheriff Kemp was at one of our fundraising events out at Cleveland Fire Department, and I was asking him, maybe getting on the sheriff's office have something to do when I retired from the post office. He said, "Why you want to wait? Why don't you come on now?" I did. In 2003, I got sworn in as an auxiliary deputy. I served in active capacity, reserve, non-paying, of course. Then I got a chance to go through the part-time academy, which is held at Marine Community College. And I completed that course. In 2006, I started working part-time in the county sheriff's office, where I was still employed at the post office. And when I retired from the post office, the sheriff and some of the others talked me into going full-time. So at the age of 56, I went through the police academy, which wasn't a lot of fun. But I completed that, and shortly thereafter, the sheriff hired me full-time, and I've been employed for the last 15 years full-time with the sheriff's office. All my law enforcement experience has been right here in Clarke County. I did work part-time here in the city of Quitman for a few months, and I worked part-time in the town of Shaboot. I've been around, like I say, working full-time out here at night. A lot of people, I don't see you during the nighttime, but I'm out here at night taking care of the citizens of Clarke County. Anything that comes up, we try to handle it on the night shift. If we need further guidance, we talk to other people, sheriff, chief deputy, investigator. Anything that happens at night, we try to solve it. I want to work closely with the board of supervisors to make sure we have adequate funding with the number of people we need to protect this county and the equipment we need. We got vehicles now, 100,000 miles on, tend to wear out. We got to start replacing. I want to maybe get a preventive maintenance plan going with maintenance people over the county going. Try to reduce all overtime we can. That's where a lot of money goes into overtime. You're out here doing the job, what you're required to do is a lot of times it's going to come out to a lot of overtime. I believe in police presence. If you're out there being seen in this community, you have to be seen. I think that deters a lot of crime. And I've built a lot of trust and respect over the last 15 years, and I want to continue building on that. If I get elected sheriff, and I'm seeking the nomination of folks for Sheriff Clarke County, and I appreciate your vote. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you all for being here.
My name's Gary Williams. I'm running for sheriff of Clarke County. This makes my 4th time to run for sheriff. I've been committed to this endeavor for the last 15 years. During that time, I've worked really hard to be the best law enforcement officer I can be for you. I believe in hard work and dedication. I have dedicated the last 23 years to Lauderdale County and the town of Stonewall. Now I would like to bring everything I've learned home as your sheriff of Clarke County. In that time, I have earned certifications as a state law enforcement instructor, a less lethal munitions master instructor, a defensive tactics instructor, emergency driving instructor, standardized field sobriety instructor. I am a state certified investigator, and I'm currently the lieutenant over investigations for Lauderdale County Sheriff's Office. I have 15 years of SWAT experience, where I worked my way up to the SWAT team commander. I believe in Jesus Christ, Constitution of this United States, and the rule of law. Because without the rule of law, the evil prey on the weak, and the lawless infringe on the rights of the law-abiding. I am a cop, not a politician. If you vote for me, that's what you're voting for. I make no apologies for it. I am proud that I have made 23 years in law enforcement and have never once compromised what I believe. one of the most important jobs of the sheriff is to be a good steward with our tax dollars. I will not abide wasteful spending of our money. I will do my very best to operate the sheriff's office within the budget that the Board of Supervisors provides. This time we're living in is scary. The immoral is moral, the evil is praised as good, and those of us that believe in honesty and hard work are looked at as mean or deluded. I'm somebody that will stand up against that evil and fight for our values. I am a man of my word, so I will not sit up here and make you a lot of promises that I might not be able to keep. The promises I will make is that I am qualified, I am willing, and I am able to be your next sheriff. There are very few problems in this world that cannot be solved with a little bit of prayer and a lot of hard work. I am ready to work hard for you. I will second what Brother Chancellor over here said. I will endorse whatever Republican candidate wins, period. On August 8th, get out and vote. And please vote Williams for sheriff.
Hello, it's good to be here, and I want to thank the Republican Party for having this, for all of us to be able to show our faces and let everybody know who we are. If you don't know, I'm Joel Speed. I'm currently serving as District 3 Supervisor, and it's the first time I've ever been in politics. When I hear politician, that's usually a word I really don't like if you really want to tell the truth about it. But when I ran last time, you know, somebody said, well, are you going to run Republican, Democrat, or Independent? I said, well, I think I'm going to run Republican. People in the past said, well, that hasn't been done that way. I said, well, I think I'm going to do it. That's the conviction I have, and I did, and it worked out well. But for the ones of you who don't know me, I've lived in Enterprise all my life on the same road. As a matter of fact, on 320, as you can tell, I'm real close to the fish camp. And but
I'm not going to miss this picture about candidates. Sorry about
But
that.
I graduated from Enterprise High School, and then I went on to college and went to Jones and went to the University of Southern Mississippi and got my degree and coached at Enterprise for 19 years and a few places prior to that. And I was in the Air National Guard for 21 years, and I retired from the Air National Guard. And once I retired from coaching, I never thought about being a public servant, truthfully. I wanted to spend time in my church, and then somebody came and asked me what I think about it, and so I did, and I tried it, and to me, as corny as it sounds to some people, that's what it should be about, being a public servant. And I believe that, and I try to do this, is any decision that I'm going to make needs to be a lot of prayer about it. Because to me, if we're going to lead our county and our municipalities and our state, seeking God's wisdom on what we do is the main thing. And I think that's what's missing a lot of times in things we do. And I think one thing as the District 3 Supervisor that I believe in is we got to strive to work together, not care who gets the credit. We got Howard Industries coming in here, and I'd love to beat my chest that I did that, but I was a little minuscule part of that. There was a lot of people that were involved in that, but I'm proud that they're coming. And but I'd like to thank my wife, Joan. A lot of y'all know her. Been married 36 years. She listens to a lot of them phones. I'm bad about putting the speakerphone and sitting it up on my shoulder when I was talking, and she'll be sitting there and she'll be doing all kind of same thing with me. So she hears a lot of that, and she at all times of the night, and once I was elected, I don't know who was testing me, somebody was, but I got elected, went in office in January, and we had a tornado in Enterprise in February, and another one in April. And that was interesting, let's just say that. So we've had some trying things, we've got some positive things going on, and I'm just excited for the future, excited for people that I see running that are already in office that do a fantastic job. And if we can work together and do things, and truthfully, like the Bible teaches us, love Jesus and love your neighbor. We can disagree, but we got to stand by those two principles or we've lost. And And I just want to thank y'all for the opportunity to be here and appreciate your support, word of mouth. I know a lot of you don't live in District 3, but if you do, I appreciate your support, and thank you very much.
Good evening. My name is Lloyd Dunaway, and I'm running for District Supervisor for County Supervisor for District 4. A little nervous talking. Let me give you a little background on myself. I've been in Clarke County for about 7 years now. Before that, I was down in Hattiesburg area most of my life. I started swinging a hammer when I was about 15 years old. Quickly learned that I'd rather tell other people to swing a hammer versus doing it myself. So I've kind of been a superintendent or project manager for construction and maintenance for over 20 years now. So as I'm living out here on County Road 140, Montrose Road, as they know it, it needs a lot of help. The whole county needs help here and there. Just needs a voice. We got water running in directions we don't want to. We got potholes here and there. It's all been improving over the years, but we just need somebody out there that's really going to dedicate their time and their heart to want to get it done and get it done right. So I'm going to keep it short and sweet. I'm running as the Republican nominee for District 4. Vote Lloyd Dunaway. Thank you.
Good evening. I want to thank all the Republican ladies for putting this on. This is not easy. They do a lot of work. They do a lot of other work behind the scenes to put this on. Thank you. One seat on Clarke County Board of Supervisors can change the direction of Clarke County.
Excuse me, Scott, can you hold the microphone?
Yeah, sure. Need to hold it.
I'm a little tall, sorry.
I noticed. We can't hear you back there. Sorry.
Just better. One seat on the Clarke County Board of Supervisors can change the direction of Clarke County. I hope to accomplish that goal. My name is Scott Evans. I'm from Clarke County, raised here, been here my whole life. I was educated here. My parents were Robert Earl and Margaret Evans. Most of you know them. As I said, I was educated here. Left and went to the University of Southern Mississippi, finished down there. Was fortunate enough to come back and was hired by Burlington Industries, ended up management there. Was in manufacturing management, planning and capital projects management for 7 years with them. I actually managed the last 2 years of the expansion project from 94 to 98 up there. I spent $64 million and we brought that in under budget. So, as I said, one seat, that can change the whole direction of Clarke County. I've been fortunate enough after I left Burlington in '99, which we kind of saw what was going on there. I set out, I saw the need for business computing. It was a very infant field at that time, business computing and networking. And I set out and got the training and certifications that I needed to start my own business. And we started in 1999 with 0 clients. And today, 24 years later, we have over 3,000 clients all over Mississippi, Louisiana, Alabama, and Northwest Florida. And we built that with no advertisement, pure word of mouth, just treating people right. Through that time, I've been fortunate to meet a lot of people across this state. Local leaders, community leaders, state leaders, and made really good relationships there. And I believe that will enable me to have a good foundation to serve on Clarke County Board of Supervisors and help bring industry in here, help get Clarke County turned around, basically. So I'm married. My wife Lindsay couldn't be here tonight. We have 4 children, and that gets a little crazy. So she is at gymnastics with one of our children tonight, so she would have loved to have been here. But anyway, I'm Scott Evans, and I would appreciate your vote for Supervisor of Clarke County District 5. Thank you.
Good evening. Most of y'all know me. I'm Matthew Skidmore. For y'all who don't, I'm Matthew Skidmore. I have a wonderful wife. Her name is Erin Skidmore. She couldn't be here. We got a 8-month-old grandson who will wear her out every day. So I'd like to thank her for what she does for me and my family. I have 2 daughters, Abby, she works at Chickasha Natural Gas, Grace, first grade kindergarten teacher, no, first grade teacher at Quitman Elementary. One of the things that I will do, I will support the Republican nominee for District 5. I have the utmost confidence that we can change that district this year with y'all's support. This will be one time that I can remember that we can actually put 3 Republicans on our supervisor board. I think that would be great if we've done that. If you elect me, one of the things that, if you know me, you'll know that I'm an honest man. If you heard things about me, then you talk to a liar. Okay? I'm just going to tell it like that. Another thing is I'm transparent. I love the camera. Okay? The camera won't lie. I think we need cameras in our boardrooms. All of them. We need to get the message out to the public who are paying our salary, by the way. Who is paying our employees' salaries, by the way. They need to be aware of what their elected officials are doing with their money. Okay? That's very important to me. Small business support. I've had a small business in Clarke County since 1988. Thank you, Clarke County. Supporting my business. I want to help other small businesses as well. I feel like I can do that from the Board of Supervisors post as supervisor of District 5 with the help of other Republican supervisors that we're going to put in office. Honesty, transparency, small business. Folks, we have a group of people in our county that sometimes gets left out. The first responders, volunteer first responders. Okay? We need to support these people, not only financially, but we need to support these people with gratitude, with a thank you. When they get out at 2 o'clock in the morning, leave their own home to go cut trees out of somebody's driveway so they can get out and go to work the next day. Sometimes, even when it's a dangerous situation, they don't know where power lines and things like that are at. We need to support these people. That is a support that can come through the Board of Supervisors. Transparency. I love it. Like I said a while ago, you know, we can all sit back and say, so-and-so said this, so-and-so said that. But when you do it with a camera in front of you, people will know what people have already said. I'm proud to be in Clarke County. I would not be who I am today if it wasn't for the citizens of Clarke County. Y'all are the best people in the world to me and my family. Y'all supportive, and y'all giving. I've seen this county give in times of need. We sent stuff to the folks in the Delta over there when the tornado went through. Churches, can't say enough about our churches and our pastors and congregations that's out there. Clarke County is a wonderful place to live. Community involvement. I sat on school board for 3.5 years. Through COVID, through a lot of things the schools have come through. I feel like the Board of Supervisors could work closer with the schools, communities, clubs, parks, and recreation. I want to thank the Clarke County Republican women for putting this on and giving me the opportunity to come and speak, but most of all, I want to thank Clarke County for giving me the opportunity to run for this position. Thank you.
Good evening. I would like to take this opportunity to thank you for putting this on to meet and greet the candidates. I am Leanne Balking. I am running for Clarke County Chancery Clerk. I'm not a native of Clarke County, but I have been a resident for 32 years here in Clarke County, so this is home also. I do have 2 children. One resides here in the county with me. The other one has moved to my native county of Neshoba County and married a lady up there. They have 2 children. My daughter lives here and has 3 children, so I have 5 grandchildren altogether. I am currently serving as the Clarke County Purchasing Clerk and have been in this capacity for almost 6 years. So I work closely with the Board of Supervisors, work closely with all of the county officials and employees in the county. Prior to taking the Clarke County Purchasing Clerk, I worked under your current Chancery Clerk, Andy Gibbs, for 14 years. I have the experience to continue to work and do the job that needs to be done in the county as Chancery Clerk. Prior to that, I worked for Bob and Polly Covington as a legal secretary for 8 years. And that experience helped in the position of Chancery Clerk, Deputy Clerk, when I went into that position. So that in itself was experience that I had to continue into the Chancery Clerk's office, and then as I stayed in the Chancery Clerk's office for 14 years, I gained the knowledge and the experience that is needed to continue to do that job. So I ask for your vote on August the 8th to vote Valking and let experience continue working for you.
Just quick, I really wasn't planning on speaking tonight. I have the great gift of running unopposed again this year. This will be my 3rd term. And what I really want to do is just say thank you. Thank you so much for the opportunity to serve as Justice Court Judge here in Clarke County. It's been an absolute pleasure, and it's an absolute gift. Now, I realize it's not quite as exciting as the sheriff's race or a candidate for supervisor. I realize that. However, let me give you a little information while I'm here, courtesy of your fine circuit clerk. Working the Clarke County Justice Court District for 2020, this is the final report. The state of Mississippi really follows judicial performance, especially in relation to black and white matters. I will put this number on. In the year 2020, the final report from that year is the last figures available from the Census Redistricting data. Clarke County Justice Court handled 15,615 cases that year. That sounds almost unbelievable, and it does include traffic tickets, minimal fines, things like that. There's a lot of work runs through Justice Court. And this year, we have a Justice Court judge, a long-term Justice Court judge retired. You need to contact the folks in place one, make sure they've done their due diligence. That's a big candidacy this year. They need carefully selected and send the Justice Court support for the county. It's more important for the citizens. Thank y'all again. I appreciate the opportunity to be here, and I thank the Clarke County Republican women for all their support. It's been my pleasure to run as a Republican. Thank you.
Well, Clarke, I'm not a native of Clarke County, but I'm a 5th generation Clarke County. And go figure, my mother's from here. I was born and raised in Gadsden, Alabama. Like Mr. Gandy, I was drafted into Mississippi, but I did choose to retire here. I'm on property that's been owned by my family since 1866 up in the greater suburban Snell area, if y'all are familiar with that. But anyway, I have quite a bit of experience in law enforcement. I was a railroad police officer, retired from Norfolk Southern with 38 years and 9 months experience. And then since then, I served as Constable Place 2, position for which I'm running. I was appointed to that position when Ryan Evans retired to go to Mississippi Highway Patrol. And we thank you for your service, sir. And I really enjoyed that job for 6 months I was appointed to, and I'm running for it again. I appreciate your vote. We've got a lot of good candidates here, and I'd like to recognize the Clarke County women for putting this on, the Republican, the conservative Republican women. And it's a great thing that y'all have done to get us together. I'm not going to take up a lot of your time, but I would appreciate your vote if you live in place 2. If you don't, tell somebody that does. Please vote for me, Hal Lockridge, and it's not Arabic like it looks like on the program. But anyway, I would appreciate your vote. It's Constable Place 2. Thank you.
It's just, I think, clarification on some. A lot of people don't understand misinformation that's kind of out there on redistricting and how that occurs. We've changed some of the districts. And I know Sally's been fighting this, and I kind of have too, but redistricting occurs every 10 years. And every 2010 and then 2020 census, you get your numbers for your counties and the distribution of those numbers of registered voters per district. Clarke County as a whole lost in the neighborhood of 900 people from 2010 to 2020. But the districts on the population changed as, like for District 3 that I represent, picked up 400 and I think it was 41 people. District 4 picked up 71 and the other 3 districts lost. By federal law from the Department of Justice, each supervisor district has to be within 10% in population for what the federal government calls fair and equal representation. So what that made happen was for the districts, some people had to change districts. For example, in my district, some on the south end, Sue and Lovey, had to go into another district, pull them out of my district, numbers-wise, to get within the 10% threshold. So there was a lot of question of that people have been calling me, and maybe they may get on Hot Topics and see that, but that's kind of where redistricting comes from. Truthfully, none of the 5 supervisors wanted it. We were happy the way it was. But by federal law, you have to meet that with be within a 10% threshold or 10% of the population of each district, and that's the reason it was done to meet that federal guideline on the redistricting. I appreciate that, and I didn't even think about that when you said that, but I thought this was a great opportunity to kind of explain that. So,
if you're elected sheriff of Clarke County, what is your plans right now? The hot topic across the nation is gun control, seizing people's weapons.
I can promise you, I'm going to stop you right there, Chad. If I get elected, I'll be a constitutionally elected sheriff, and I stand behind our citizens and their Second Amendment rights. Like I said, I know only my control would be right here in just Clarke County, but I can tell you right now, the Clarke County Sheriff's Office will not go on a gun grab for the federal government by any means, and we're going to stand there, we'll hold the line.
So if the federal government's trying to get in Clarke County, you're going to hold them off as long as you possibly
as long
can.
as I possibly can. That's just a fact. I will stand between the federal government and the citizens of Clarke County as long as I possibly can until they take me by force. We're going to go to work. If I get elected, we're going to go to work. Looking around, you can turn on the news at any point. We've got problems that are just north of here. We got problems in all sorts of different directions, and we're not going to allow that to spill over into Clarke County. If I'm elected sheriff, we will hold the line here and hold people accountable.
The people out there who's undecided, what would you like to say to those people?
Chad, this country's in a mess right now, and I know that when America's military is strong, peace is a lot more prevalent throughout the world. Likewise, we need good law enforcement, not only in this country, but in Clarke County, Mississippi. And I can pledge to you that you will have integrity and honesty on my part and do my very dead level best to help protect the citizens of Clarke County.
As constable, if elected, what is your main goal? I know serving papers, I know all that, but what is your main priority as a constable?
My main priority is to help enhance the protection of my fellow citizens of Clarke County. As constable, you have a lot of authority to enforce the law and keep the peace in the county, and I intend to spend every waking hour doing just that.
Tell us again your name and what are you running for?
My name is Hal Lockridge, and I'm a candidate, a Republican candidate for Constable, Place 2, Clarke County. Appreciate your vote.
Tell the voters out there, District 5 right now, who may be still undecided, they don't know who they're going to vote for. What do you want them to know?
Well, you know, there's a lot to come out. We got things coming out in the paper. over the next few months and things like that that's going to outline a lot of stuff that I hope and plan to do. You know, one of the things I didn't really get to touch on is we have some valuable assets at in Clarke County that I think the supervisors could work along with to promote this county a little bit more. By being in the restaurant industry and having brothers as well and a nephew in that business as well, we get to see a lot of people that come into our county for family reunions. They utilize our parks, our recreation and things like that. And we need to show a better appreciation from the county level and county government to our parks and recreation, and work with these people to make sure and ensure that they can keep these parks in the shape that they're keeping them in. They're definitely an asset to our county, and at the end of the day, you know, we got to utilize every asset we got, and we need to focus on those. You know, another thing, you know, so many times farmers get left out of everything. We have a lot of farmers in our county. We have chicken growers, you know, we have cattle farmers, and our 4-H program is we have a lot of kids on our 4-H programs. So these programs need to be looked at. Our farmers need to be visited by our board of supervisors just to see how they operate, see what they go through on a daily basis. You know, so many times we overlook, but a farmer is a small business. You know, he's self-employed. I'm self-employed. I go to a building every day. They go out to a chicken house or they go into a field and things like that. We don't need to forget about our farmers right now. They're struggling. Everybody's struggling. We're getting out here trying to do what we can and things like that. So, you know, we need to focus on some of these things that hadn't been focused on. And that's things you haven't heard. I mean, when's the last time you was at a supervisor's meeting and farmer chicken growers and cattle farmers and small businesses was talked about? It's something that has been lacking, and we need to bring that out. Our people are great. Clarke County is a great place to live. I'm fortunate enough to have both my children living in Clarke County. I want to see other people's children be able to move back. Let's bring industry in that we can look at industry that we can have a workforce for. You know, workforce is a powerful word. If you got a workforce that is part of one industry and you bring in a different industry that workforce is not part of, you know, both suffer, the industry as well as the workforce. And then you bring in workforce out of Wayne County, out of Alabama, and things like that. We need to focus on what's in Clarke County.
I'll put you on the spot for just a second. You mentioned earlier that transparency about the cameras in the courtroom.
That's right.
The boardroom.
That's right.
There are some people over there, I know for a fact, that don't want that. So you're saying if you're elected as District 5, you will be for that, live streaming the board meeting?
I would be for live streaming the board meeting. I'd be for live streaming any meeting that takes place that involves people's tax dollars. Okay? I mean, the public is paying these bills. The light bill, the water bill, everything that goes on in that courthouse is used by taxpayers' money. And they deserve to know what's going on. We got people who are not able to get out. They could see what's going on in their county and not just hear about it, because I can promise you this. I can tell you a story, and by the time that story gets to 5 other people, it's changed 5 times. Live streaming a board meeting, the people's gonna get exactly what the board member, the person addressing the board, or whomever is doing the speaking at that time. I'm Matthew Skidmore. I'm running for Board Supervisor District 5 to make a difference, to make a change, and to let people know that they're appreciated.
My name's Lloyd Dunaway. Been here for about 6.5, 7 years now. I really just want to be the voice of the people. I see a lot of changes that can be made in the direction of changing things for the newer crowd coming through, growing up. My children are here, and I just want to make sure they have somewhere safe to live and have the right things to get that way. So
I'm going to kind of ask you the same thing I asked Skidmore. What is your take on live streaming the board meeting? Some people over there don't want that to happen. What is your take?
my personal opinion is every open forum should be live streamed. I mean, anything that has to do with the public, taxpayers' dollars, live stream all the way. I'm 100% for it. My name's Lloyd Dunaway. I'm running for District 4 Supervisor, and I'm just here to be the voice. Thank you.
I'm Joel Speed, and I'm running for District 3 Supervisor, and right now I'm in that office and have been for the last approximately 3.5 years. And District 3 Supervisor representing the north end of the county enterprise areas, and Sioux and Lovey and part of Stonewall. But anyway, I'm running and looking forward to trying to continue some things that we've started on like with Howard Industries and getting some business. We need some manufacturing in Clarke County for that type of worker with some pay and benefits, and we're excited they're coming, but there's a lot of things we need to do, it's just going to take one step at a time, baby steps, and get things done as best we can. I think it's good for the public to know what's going on, because I mean, you know, if you want to be blunt about it, we are there because of the taxpayers of Clarke County, and they need to know what's going on. And if we're going in a direction that most of our constituents don't want, we need to hear that and make a decision based on that. I personally think that's good. That's accountability and transparency. I think that's needed in all forms of government, whether it be municipality, state level, county level, whatever it may be. I'm Joel Speed, running for District 3 Supervisor, and I appreciate your vote for this office. I'll strive to do. I'm gonna pray about decisions that I make, and I think my judgment will not come at the ballot box. I think my judgment will come the day I pass on, is when judgment comes, and I'm more concerned about that. And I think if we get that part right, the rest of it's going to be in good shape.
Thank you for your time.
I'm Leanne Valking, and I'm running for Clarke County Chancery Clerk. I have 14 years of experience in that office, and I feel that is what would qualify me to do the job and continue that experience working in that office, and just keeping an open door policy for that office and asking the public to come in and find out what we really do.
Okay, so speaking of that, what do you really do?
We actually record deeds of trust, estates, divorces, any land matters come through there. We do lunacy, which is mental commitments. Youth court is in that office, and I think that's probably all. The clerk is also the clerk of the board, so she takes the minutes for the Board of Supervisors, so that's a very important aspect of that office also.
Okay, anything you'd like to add that you hadn't already covered?
No, sir, other than just I would ask that the county vote for me and let experience continue working for you.
Okay, and what office is that again?
That is the Clarke County Chancery Clerk's office, and I'm Leanne Valking.
Very good, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
My name's Scott Evans, and I'm running for Clarke County Supervisor District 5, and I believe I have the most qualifications for the position. I spent the last 24 years building a business from scratch to over 3,000 clients across the state of Mississippi, Alabama, Louisiana, Northwest Florida, and we're based right here in Quitman, Mississippi, and have been since the beginning. In that time, I've been able to make many numerous contacts, relationships with leaders of counties, cities, state leaders, and I believe those relationships will allow me to be able to bring some industry and business and money into Clarke County. I am a fiscal conservative. I believe in looking at our budget on a macro term instead of a micro term. When we let out contracts, I believe in looking at the long term, 3, 5, 10 years down the road, how it's going to affect us. Is this contract going to save us money in the long term? It may be the lowest right now, but it may actually cost us the most in the long term. So that's always been my thinking. It's been my thinking in my business, and it'll be my thinking as Supervisor of District 5. Well, my business is IT. So I set up the live stream during COVID for the board down to the grand jury room so that the spillover crowd could watch the board meetings. I'm very much for live streaming the board meetings, and would be very involved in getting that done as quickly as possible. And I have experience in that. I've helped numerous churches set up their live streaming, and I'm very much for it and the transparency that brings, and it'll cut down on a lot of the foolishness, I think. I'm Scott Evans. I'm running for Supervisor of District 5. And honesty, integrity, transparency, and basically no drama. That's what you'll get with me. I believe my experience in running a business, I'm not a politician, I'm a businessman, and I've been so for 24 years, and before that 7 years with Burlington Industries and Management, and I believe that experience has laid the groundwork and the foundation for me to do a good job as Supervisor of District 5.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
My name is Kerry Williams. I'm running for Sheriff of Clarke County. I believe I can do some good, and I believe that's the only reason anybody should ever run for a public office. Training is the big thing I see for Clarke County. Training. I have built a career on training. I do a lot of training. I do a lot of instructing. I believe that is the key to any successful department is you must train.
I asked your opponent, I'll ask you the same thing. Hot topic across the nation right now is gun control. Everybody's scared that the federal government will come take their weapons. If you're elected sheriff, what is your take on that?
The Constitution of the United States of America says every one of us has the right to keep and bear arms. I will die on that sword. I will die on that hill. I would never violate anybody's constitutional rights for anybody. I just would not do it. I'm a cop, not a politician. That is the big thing I try to drive home every time I talk. It's true. I'm as uncomfortable as uncomfortable can be standing here in front of this camera. I'm not that guy. I have built a career around arresting criminals. I don't have to politic to them. If you vote for me, you're not getting a politician, you're getting a cop. My name is Kerry Williams. I'm running for Sheriff of Clarke County.
I'm Chandler Mix, and I have the honor of serving as co-chair of the Clarke County Republican Party and the privilege to serve as the president of the Clarke County Republican Women. And the two groups came together, and we had a wonderful event here. It's our first event, and it's for all of our local Clarke County candidates. A meet and greet, hear what they've got to say and what they want to do, and all the people got to hear the platforms.
Probably the biggest crowd I've seen in several years.
Yeah.
What would you like to say to those people who came out?
Great. You know, an educated voter is a good, concerned voter, and that's how we have a great, great county government. And all these people who came out on their own as voters came because they wanted to hear directly from the candidate's mouth and hear what they had to say. And you know what else, Chad? We are so happy to say that on June the 15th, we're going to do the same thing again, and we hope these people come back too, but we're going to feature the state candidates, governor, lieutenant governor, etc. Bring them in.
Where will that be held at?
It's going to be held here, the same place, the depot, same time, 5:30 on a Thursday.
In closing, Ms. Chandler, what would you like to say to the people out there watching?
Well, I want to make sure everyone knows what the Republican women and the Republican Party of Clarke County is all about. This is our time that we really get on fire, meaning our mission is to help find outstanding candidates and to encourage those people to run and sign up to run, and then to help assist them in any way we can. But we must remain neutral to all of our candidates. We'll make that clear. We don't pick the candidate. Once the voters pick the candidate, we get 10% behind that one Republican candidate.
I appreciate your time. I thank you for the invite to be here. It's always an honor. So thank you, ma'am, for that.
Well, I tell you what, I just want to say to everybody, Hot Topics and Chad really has helped us so much in getting the word out and educating the public, and we thank you for being here.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.